Hey, good morning. So glad that you've joined in. And for those who may have seen a number of my devotionals in the past, I love the prophet Isaiah. I love all the prophets, but I just seem to want to focus on Isaiah so often. And so this morning, in my own time in reading scripture, I was back in the book of Isaiah, chapter 46, and just some verses that I was reading this morning made me pause and ponder, and I thought I'd bring those thoughts to you this morning. So I'm going to be reading from Isaiah chapter 46, the first 5 verses. Listen carefully to what Isaiah is saying. Bel bows down, Nebo stoops. Their idols are on the beasts and livestock. These things you carry are borne as burdens on weary beasts. They stoop, they bow down together. They cannot save the burden, but themselves go into captivity. Listen to me, O house of Jacob, all the remnant of the house of Israel, who have been born by me from before your birth, carried from the womb. Even to your old age, I am he. And to gray hairs, I will carry you. I have made, and I will bear, I will carry, and will save. What an interesting passage. And it, it's part of God's nature. He doesn't change. And these foreign gods, these idols worshipped by foreign nations, they don't last. But the one true God does. It's part of his nature, even to old age and to gray hairs, of which I have plenty now. But it's interesting how in life everything seems to change, doesn't it? As I was reading this passage and stopped for a while to think, when I was a little boy and got dressed for church, we always wore a coat and tie and shine shoes, and I remember the ties that I wore were really, really skinny. I mean, they may have been maybe a little over an inch wide. But 25 years later, when I was in my banking career, the ties were like 4.5 inches wide, and the knots in your tie were about as big as your fist. It was amazing, the difference and the change in all of that. And in college, we wore bell-bottom jeans. I mean, who would wear those today? It's just not there. Oh, and boy, what about technology? I can't begin to explain a wall phone with a rotary dial to my grandkids. It just doesn't compute. Or how about, when I try to tell them about, back in the day, in our TVs, there were only 3 channels. And guess what? We had to get up out of our chair to go and change the channels. Boy, what a difference. What a difference. Change is all around us. Our local, state, and national leadership changes. And of course, this week, and 2 more days, we'll have a change in the leadership of our country. I was born in 1952. And as of this Wednesday, I went back and reflected. I will have seen I will have seen 13 presidencies. 13 presidents. And interestingly, 7 of the 13 were Republican, and 6, including Joe Biden, are Democrats. It just seems like it's a back and forth kind of thing. There's always that shift from back and forth. It's in a world of change, we quickly realize that we need a sense of permanence, some constant truth that we can just count on for our lives, even until the graying of our hairs. Wow. Well, here's a constant truth, and it's in this passage this morning. Our God never changes. Even to old age and to the graying of our hair, he is the same. Listen to the words of the psalmist, Psalm 100, verses 1 through 5. Shout joyfully to the Lord, all the earth. Serve the Lord with gladness. Come before him with joyful singing. Know that the Lord himself is God. It is he who has made us, and not we ourselves. We are his people and the sheep of his pasture. Enter his gates with thanksgiving and his courts with praise. Give thanks to him, bless his name. For the Lord is good. His loving kindness is everlasting, and his faithfulness to all generations. And I love that last verse. For the Lord is good, his loving kindness is everlasting. In Hebrew, the word for loving kindness is this word hesed, H-E-S-E-D, or C-H-E-S-E-D in Hebrew, hesed. And it's an incredible word. It's used so many times. And it's a word that's kind of an umbrella word for God's love and his grace and his mercy. All of it is kind of captured in that word. And it's always there for those of us who seek the Lord. And it's free. We just need to come to him, pledge our lives to him, and just follow God and just realize this constant grace and love and mercy that's always there for us. I love the words of Isaiah. A little later on in the book of Isaiah, we get to chapter 55. He says this, Ho, everyone who thirsts, come to the waters. And you who have no money, come, buy and eat. Come, buy wine and milk without money and without cost. Incline your ear and come to me. Listen, that you may live, and I will make an everlasting covenant with you, according to my faithful mercies. Seek the Lord, Isaiah says, while he may be found. Call upon him while he is near. I'm so amazed at God's constant love and care for us. Even when we get sideways with all the things of this world, his nature never changes. His nature never changes. And that is a lot of great hope for me. And even as I make it to old age and graying of hairs, God's the same. And he is for everlasting. And I can look forward to that time when I am with him eternally. But all of these other things, they fade away. Just like bell-bottom jeans and skinny ties or wide ties or rotary dials on our phones and just a couple of channels versus a million, it seems like, on our televisions. And the political sways of the populace, they shift, it changes. I mean, it was amazing to me that in these 13 presidencies, it was almost evenly divided between Republicans and Democrats, and just this back and forth kind of thing. And what I really want in my life is something constant, some truth that I can turn to every single time, and that my God is always there for me, and he is for you too. Seek the Lord while he may be found. Call upon him while he is near. I thank my God that he is that constant source of love and strength and life for me and for you. What a wonderful word Isaiah has for us this morning. Thank you for sharing it with me. I hope that you stay safe, be blessed, and I'll see you again real soon. Take care now.